Many of you are not failing FAJR because you don't care. You are sincere. You are hungry. But you are trapped in a storm of overthinking, perfectionism, and delay. You keep telling yourself, when I understand every detail, when I feel fully ready, when my schedule settles down, then I'll pray right. And without realizing it, you are blocking your own obedience by worshiping the idea of a perfect start. Hear me with love and clarity. Overwhelm is the real enemy, not your desire, not your capacity. The enemy is the noise that convinces you to wait. Today, I want to show you something that can completely change your spiritual life. You will learn the simplest correct way to pray FAJR. Without panic, without extra details you don't need today, without feeling like a fraud. We are going to strip this down to what counts, do it on time, and protect it from the sabotage of doubt after you finish. That's the plan. Clear, calm, obedient. Consistency is a spiritual decision. Someday is the enemy of today. God does not operate on your anxious clock, and He does not require you to be an expert before you obey. He requires you to stand when it is time, face the QIBLA, carry a clean WUDU, offer 2 RAK'AHs with a truthful heart, and guard your mind the moment you say your final salam. That is not lowering the standard. That is removing the obstacles so obedience can begin to live in you every single morning. Let me step into your room before dawn. The alarm vibrates. Your eyes open. Your mind starts running. What if I mess up? What if I forget the order? What if my recitation isn't perfect? Maybe I should wait until I can review everything. You feel the pressure pile up. You freeze. Minutes die. Light creeps in. And shame takes the seat where peace was supposed to sit. That cycle ends here, not next week, not after 3 tutorials, here, today. I'm giving you a simple roadmap in this series. A bare minimum, correct 2 RAK'AH FAJR that you can obey within time with WUDU, facing the QIBLA, followed by post-prayer mental stewardship, so doubt doesn't steal what obedience just planted. Faith declares, it is already accepted when I align with what is required. Doubt whispers, I'm not good enough yet. Answer it with authority. Before we go any further, take 30 seconds, write 1 line on paper where you can see it. I can do the bare minimum correctly today. That line is a weapon. Put it by your bed, put it by the sink, put it in your mouth as a declaration when the alarm rings. You don't need to feel ready. You need a plan you can obey today. Never negotiate with overwhelm. Never worship delay. Never hand your morning to confusion. Stand up. Start simple. Start today. Your story changes when your morning does. Listen carefully. Bare minimum does not mean careless. It does not mean rushed. It does not mean spiritually lazy. Bare minimum means valid, correct, and sustainable. It means the smallest faithful unit that counts, done within its time, with WUDU, facing the QIBLA, with a simple, clean 2 RAK'AH script that you can repeat tomorrow without collapsing. That is not compromise. That is wisdom under pressure. That is you refusing the lie that complexity is holiness. The goal is not to impress. The goal is to obey. And the way you obey consistently is by learning a routine you can repeat without negotiating every morning. Repeatable becomes reliable. Reliable becomes restful. Restful becomes focused. Focus births khushu. You do not earn focus by adding more weight than your morning can carry. You earn it by removing noise and staying in the fight every dawn. Here is the hidden trap that steals FAJR from beginners. You try to learn everything at once. Perfect tajweed, long surahs, every sunnah detail, whispered doubts about mistakes, and a constant self-audit. You stack it high, call it humility, then collapse under it. That is not humility. That is overload wearing a religious mask. Overload delays obedience and then labels the delay as preparation. Never worship preparation when it becomes an excuse for disobedience. Start small, start true, start today. Think of it like learning to swim. You do not master every stroke, memorize every chapter of a manual, and analyze fluid dynamics before you touch the water. You get into the shallow end with a lifeguard, you hold the wall, you breathe, you kick, you swim one short length, you get out, you rest, and you come back tomorrow. The water is dawn. The lifeguard is time, WUDU and QIBLA. The short length is 2 calm RAKAHs with a simple recitation. Do that. Do it safely. Do it repeatedly. Skill grows from repetition, not from sitting on the bench reading about swimming while the sun rises without you. I am giving you permission to start small, but I am not giving you permission to stop. You are allowed to pray the bare minimum correctly while you are learning. You are not allowed to abandon FAJR because your ego wanted perfection. You are allowed to keep your script short. You are not allowed to rush. You are allowed to protect your focus by simplifying. You are not allowed to complicate yourself into quitting. When the whisper says, add more or it won't count, answer it with authority. I will do what counts and I will return tomorrow. When the critic in your head says, this is too simple, remind it. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence strengthens presence. Presence matures worship. That is the progression. So draw your boundary lines now, valid over flashy, calm over frantic, repeatable over dramatic. 2 rak'ahs done right within time, guarded from doubt afterward, will build a habit that carries you farther than 1,000 anxious plans never practiced. Start in the shallow end. Keep coming back. You are not shrinking faith. You are removing obstacles so obedience can finally live in you every morning. Before you stand, there are 3 gates, not 15, not a maze. 3. Walk through them and you are ready to stand. Time. WUDU. QIBLA. This is the doorway into a FAJR that counts. Do not camp outside the doorway debating your worthiness. Enter. Gate 1. Time. FAJR is a window, not a suggestion. It begins at true dawn and ends at sunrise. Your simplest act of obedience is to confirm the window. Use a reliable prayer app. Use your masjid's timetable. Do not guess because your curtains look gray. Open the app, look at the numbers, and anchor your morning to reality. If you wake and there are only minutes left, do not negotiate with delay. Stand, pray the 2 fard calmly, and finish within time. Never rush your body, but never drift past sunrise arguing with yourself. Time sets the boundary that protects your obedience. Respect it. Build alarms, build margin. But in this moment, verify, then move. Gate 2, purification. Be in WUDU. You do not need to master encyclopedic details today. You need to be clean by the simple, known steps. Here is your short checklist. Rinse your hands, rinse your mouth, rinse your nose, wash your face, wash your right arm including the elbow, then the left. Wipe your head lightly, including the ears. Wash your right foot including the ankle, then the left. Calm. Complete. No panic. If you break WUDU before you start, renew it. If you break WUDU during the prayer, stop respectfully, renew, and pray again. That is not failure. That is faithfulness under pressure. Never let embarrassment cancel obedience. Quietly reset and continue. The rule is simple. Be in WUDU when you stand. Gate 3, direction. Face the QIBLA as best you can. Beginners are not called to be anxious detectives. Open a QIBLA app. Follow the direction marked in your masjid. If you're at home, mark a spot on your floor so tomorrow is even easier. If your tools fail, estimate sincerely and decide. Do not spin in circles feeding fear. Decide and stand. God does not ask you to perform an investigation. He asks you to make an honest effort and pray. Now, guard your mind like a warrior at the threshold. The first whisper at the gates is, "I'm not sure it's perfect, so I won't pray." That is a trap designed to make obedience die at the door. Answer it with authority. Speak this out loud if you have to. Allah is not asking me to be perfect. He is calling me to be faithful and consistent. Then add, valid over perfect, timely over delayed, decided over doubting. Plant that in your chest. Here is your micro scene. You wake, you check the app, FAJR is in, you carry yourself to the sink, WUDU, steady and simple. You face the QIBLA, marked, chosen, no circling, 3 gates, 3 yeses. The door opens. Do not linger outside analyzing your steps. Enter. When these gates are honored, you are ready to stand. And when you stand, the noise loses its power because obedience has already begun. Now that the 3 gates are open, there is one silent door inside your chest that you must choose to walk through. NIYYYAH. Intention. Stop overcomplicating what God designed to be simple. You do not need to say anything out loud. You do not need to craft a perfect sentence. You do not need to audition for acceptance. Intention is the decision in your heart and mind to stand these 2 rak'ahs for Allah because it is FAJR and He deserves your obedience. That is it. That quiet yes in your core is the engine that moves the body. Here is your simple script for the mind. I am praying FAJR for Allah. Say it inside, 1 time, then move forward. Do not turn it into a loop. Do not test yourself to see if you feel a certain way. Do not repeat it 20 times hoping to feel holier. Make the decision and step. Obedience starts in the mind, not in the mouth, and it is proved by the body that follows. Let me expose the whisper that steals minutes and breaks momentum. Did I intend right? Was it clear enough? Maybe I should start over. That is not piety. That is panic disguised as caution. Answer it with authority. I already decided. I am proceeding. There is a rule of stability for your soul. What is certain is not erased by a passing doubt. If you know you intended FAJR for Allah, then a stray question does not cancel what you decided. Do not restart unless you are certain you never formed the intention at all. And be honest. 99 times out of 100, the intention is there, and the enemy is noise. Refuse the noise. Your obedience begins before the first takbir. Alignment is already happening when your mind says yes to Allah, and your feet carry you to the place of prayer. That's why you must guard the mental threshold. Guard it like a warrior. No bargaining, no rehearsal, no court case in your head. Make the ruling and move. I am praying FAJR for Allah. Full stop. Practice this micro moment. You face the QIBLA, your hands are ready, your heart is steady. Pause for 2 seconds. Choose. I'm doing this for Allah. Breathe once. Raise your hands. Begin. This pause is not for doubt. This pause is for dominion. You are taking authority over your mind so your body can follow in peace. And when, mid-prayer, a thought tries to drag you back, was my intention pure? Should I begin again? Do not break your stance to chase a ghost. Stay in formation. Keep reciting. Keep moving. The intention you made at the start carries you through the mission you are now completing. You do not keep uprooting a seed to check if it is real. You plant it and water it with actions. That is faith. That is maturity. That is how your mornings stop collapsing under scrutiny and start standing under obedience. Make the decision once. Honor it with motion. Protect it from doubt. This is the discipline that builds consistency, a quiet intention, a clean start, and a refusal to negotiate with every whisper. Say yes in the heart. Say yes with your body. And let that yes echo all the way to your final salam. Here is the map. Fajr Fard is 2 rak'ahs, not 4, not a maze. 2 calm units with a simple script you can follow today. This section is the overview, your clean, bare minimum steps that count. We will deepen each movement next, but right now I want a picture in your head so simple you can walk it in the dark. Start by standing facing the QIBLA with WUDU and the intention already made. Raise your hands and say, Allahu Akbar. That takbir is your doorway. Place your right hand over your left, settle your gaze where you will prostrate, and breathe. Recite Al-FATIHA. If you know a short surah, like Al-Ikhlas, recite it after Al-FATIHA. If you do not yet have one confidently, do not freeze. Complete Al-FATIHA and then fill the space with brief praises you know. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, calmly and respectfully while you are learning. God is not grading your eloquence. He is honoring your obedience. When the recitation ends, say Allahu Akbar and bow into ruku. Back straight, hands on knees. Say your remembrance calmly. Rise saying, Sami'a Allahu liman hamida, standing fully before moving again, and then go down to sujood, 2 prostrations with a brief sitting between them. That completes the first rak'ah. Stand back up. That is the reset. You repeat the same pattern. Al-Fatiha, your short surah if you know it, or your brief praises while you're learning. Then ruku, then 2 sujoods. After the second sujood of the second rak'ah, you sit for TASHAHHUD, recite it simply, and finish with salam to the right and to the left. That's the map. Stand, recite, bow, rise, 2 prostrations, stand again, repeat, sit, TASHAHHUD, salam. Clean, linear, doable today. Listen to me. In your first week, your body may feel clumsy. Your timing may feel wooden. Your mind may try to sprint ahead or look back and audit. Do not let performance anxiety kidnap obedience. Clumsy consistency beats confident delay every single dawn. Every time you complete these 2 rak'ahs within time, with WUDU facing the QIBLA, you are pouring wet concrete into a foundation that will carry more weight tomorrow. Adopt the rule. Don't break the chain. 1 valid, simple Fajr today links to tomorrow's Fajr, and the day after, and the day after. Strength is not an event. Strength is a chain of small, quiet obediences that refuse to snap. After you give salam, resist the urge to dissect every second. You followed the map. You finished the mission. Stand up with gratitude and guard your mind. We will add refinement step by step, but we will not sacrifice today's obedience on the altar of imaginary perfection. If you can follow this map, you can pray Fajr today. Decide it. Walk it. Keep the chain unbroken. Step into position like a soldier on assignment. You have walked through time, WUDU and QIBLA. You have made the intention. Now you draw the line. Raise your hands. Level with your shoulders or near your ears if you know it, and say, Allahu Akbar. The takbir is not a slogan, it is a boundary. You have crossed into prayer. Do not keep stepping back over the line to renegotiate with fear. You only return if there is a clear reason that breaks prayer. Otherwise, you are in. Stay in. Stand with calm authority. Feet steady, not wandering. Spine upright, not stiff. Shoulders relaxed, chest soft. Place your right hand over your left on your chest or slightly below, without tension. Anchor your gaze where your head will touch in sujood. That spot is your lighthouse. Do not chase the room with your eyes. A moving gaze produces a moving mind. Anchor the eyes. The mind begins to follow. Breathe once, slow and clean. You are not performing. You are obeying. Begin recitation with Al-FATIHA. This is the core in every rak'ah. Recite it clearly at your level, steady, not rushed. If a letter stumbles, gather it and continue. If a word escapes you for a second, pause, recall, and complete. Do not trade obedience for panic. Al-FATIHA is the heart of your standing. Give it your presence. You are not auditioning for acceptance. You are offering what is required with sincerity. After Al-FATIHA, add a short recitation if you can. Keep it simple. Al-Ikhlas is a perfect first ally. 4 brief verses you can learn confidently. If you know it, recite it now with calm. If you are still learning and it is not yet ready, do not freeze or flee. Complete Al-FATIHA and then hold your ground in remembrance with brief praises you know while you are learning. Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Calm, respectful, consistent. You are building a living habit, not staging a performance. Skill follows repetition. Confidence follows staying in the fight. While you stand, the enemy will try to unseat you with noise. You're doing it wrong. Start over. You don't sound good enough. This doesn't count. Answer it with authority. I am learning, and I will not stop. Say it inside your chest. Say it with your breath. Say it to the doubt and do not move your feet. What is certain is not undone by a passing question. You have intention. You have takbir. You are reciting. That is certainty. Do not let soft whispers override hard facts. Guard 3 things in this first standing: your line, your eyes, your pace. The line is the takbir. You are in prayer. The eyes are on the place of sujood. You are focused. The pace is unhurried. You are present. These 3 will carry you through the storm of thoughts. And when your recitation finishes, do not invent a courtroom in your head. You have delivered what was required at your level today. Hold 1 beat of stillness and gratitude, then be ready to move on command. This is how Rak'ah 1 begins like a soldier. Cross the line with Allahu Akbar, anchor your eyes, give Al-FATIHA its due, add what you can simply, and refuse the mental noise. Stand, recite, and stand your ground. When your recitation ends, do not snap or flinch. Say Allahu Akbar and move into ruku with calm authority. This is not a dip of insecurity. It is a deliberate bow of reverence. Hinge from the hips, keep your back level, your head in line with your spine, and set your hands on your knees with steady fingers. Let your gaze stay down. Hold your ground in this posture and say, at a measured pace, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. 3 times is your clean, repeatable minimum. No rush, no theatrics. Mean what you are saying. Glory be to my Lord, the Magnificent. Your spine is bowing, but more importantly, your will is bowing. This is surrender made visible. Now rise like a person who knows where they are. As you lift, say, Sami'a Allahu liman hamida. When you are fully upright, let your body settle and answer with praise. Rabbana wa laka alhamd. or simply pause in grateful stillness if you are still learning the words. Do not bounce. Do not rush like someone trying to escape prayer. Slow is not weakness. Slow is presence. Give this standing a full beat. Breathe. You asked to stand before the Most High. Act like you mean to be here. On the next, Allahu Akbar, descend into sujood. Bring your forehead and nose to the ground together. Palms flat, fingers forward, elbows lifted, not collapsed. Knees steady, toes tucked toward the QIBLA. Do your best at your level and be calm. Here you are closest, closer than your anxieties, closer than your plans. Say, Subhana Rabbiyal Allah, 3 times at a pace you can feel. Glory be to my Lord, the Most High. This is where burdens are handed over and pride is set down. If a plea rises in your chest after the tasbih, whisper it simply. But your bare minimum anchor is this remembrance, done with attention. Lift from sujood into a brief sitting. Back upright, hands resting on your thighs. Breathe once. If you know it, say, Rabbufir li, my Lord, forgive me. If you are still securing the basics, hold the pause with quiet respect. Then return to a second sujood the same way. Calm descent, steady posture, the same tasbih. Consistency over novelty. You are not showcasing mastery. You are building a habit that will outlive your feelings. Hear the rule. RUKU and SUJOOD are not gymnastics. They are acts of devotion that train the body to preach what the heart believes. God is greater than your hurry, greater than your doubt, greater than your need to control. Do not let anxiety turn these movements into jerks and scrambles. When the whisper says, faster, finish and check if it counted, answer it with authority. I will not dig up the seed I just planted. Every calm bow is water. Every settled sujood is light. Rushing through the steps is like yanking a newly planted seed from the soil to see if it grew. You don't grow it. You kill it. So anchor each station. Bow with meaning, rise with stability, prostrate with surrender, sit with patience, prostrate again with the same quiet certainty. You have done what is required at your level today. When you lift from the second sujood, you will stand for the next rak'ah. Stay in formation. Keep the chain unbroken. Stand up from the second sujood with purpose. This is not a new maze. It is the same clear road. You are entering Rak'ah 2. Repeat the pattern. Set your stance. Settle your hands. Anchor your gaze. Breathe. Al-FATIHA. If you have a short surah, recite it. If you are still securing that, fill the space with simple praises you already know. Calmly, respectfully, without shame. Then Allahu Akbar into ruku. Steady bow, clear remembrance. Rise with composure. Then sujood. 2 prostrations with a brief, dignified sitting between them. Same map, same order, same calm. Hear me. Repetition is not redundancy. Repetition is training. This is where your nervous system learns, I can do this. Fear dies when it runs into the same wall of obedience, day after day, movement after movement. By repeating the pattern in Rak'ah 2, you are carving a path in your mind and your body. When I stand, I recite. When I finish, I bow. When I rise, I praise. When I descend, I surrender. Simple, reliable, unshakable. Mid-prayer, panic will try to stage a jailbreak. The thought appears, I forgot what comes next. Do not spiral. Apply the rule of stability. Follow the last thing you're sure of and continue. If you know you just completed Al-FATIHA but can't recall if you added a short surah, decide cleanly. Either add a brief recitation now or move into ruku, and do not run a courtroom in your head. If you know you are in ruku and doubt whether you said the tasbih 3 times, say it now calmly and rise. Certainty anchors you. Doubt is weather. You do not stop your mission for weather. This rak'ah is not about novelty. It is about obedience under pressure. Every time you return to the pattern, you are choosing alignment over emotion. Faith declares, I continue as directed. Doubt whispers, start over and make a scene. Answer it with authority. I do not build chaos in a place of worship. I build continuity. Make this your mini declaration as you stand in RAKAH 2. I don't quit halfway. I finish what I started. Say it inside your chest. Let it steady your breath. When your legs feel a little heavy or your mind tries to audit, repeat it. I don't quit halfway. I finish what I started. Your identity tightens. Your movements follow. Keep your 3 guards in place. Your line, your eyes, your pace. The line, you are in prayer. Stay in it. The eyes, fixed where you will prostrate. Keep them disciplined. The pace, unhurried. Keep it human. Keep it sincere. When you complete the 2nd sujood of this rak'ah, you will sit to close. You did not improvise your way here. You obeyed your way here. Step by step, repetition over panic, alignment over feeling. Finish the mission. Now sit and close with dignity. This is the final sitting. Tashahhud, the moment you seal the prayer, not the moment you start a panic audit. Sit steady, hands resting on your thighs, breath calm. You are not negotiating with fear now. You are completing a trust. In this seat, you bear witness, you send peace, and you prepare to give salam. Keep the words beginner-friendly and within reach. Start with what you know and keep building. If you have it, recite the tashahhud. At-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As-salamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Say it calmly. Mean it. If you are still learning, do not freeze. Recite the parts you have secured and fill the remaining space with simple remembrance respectfully while you commit to memorize the rest. Your obedience is not measured by theatrical fluency. It is measured by honest effort, done within time and with presence. Here is a simple step-by-step build you can adopt starting today. First, secure the opening line. At-tahiyyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibat. Next, add the 2 lines of peace. As-salamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu. Then as-salamu alayna. Then, anchor the 2 testimonies. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. After that, if you know it, send salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. And as you grow, add the full Ibrahimiyya. This is not cramming, this is layering. 1 line at a time, 1 week at a time. Consistency over cram. When the tashahhud is complete at your level today, conclude the prayer with salam. Turn your head to the right and say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then to the left, the same. That is the closure. Understand the authority of this moment. With these salams, you are exiting prayer, returning to your morning as someone who has fulfilled what was due at dawn. Do not linger in the chair holding court against yourself. I must correct a major anxiety that keeps many souls trapped. If I didn't say every extra part perfectly, did it count? Answer it with authority. Do not weaponize uncertainty to invalidate obedience. Faith declares, I ended cleanly. Doubt whispers, it probably didn't count. You planted the seed, Do not dig it up with suspicion. What is certain stands. You entered within time, with WUDU, facing the QIBLA. You stood, you bowed, you prostrated, you sat, you bore witness, you gave salam. That is the chain. Do not snap it with self-accusation masquerading as piety. After you give salam, your job is stewardship. Close your mouth to complaint and open it to gratitude. Say quietly, Alhamdulillah for a completed FAJR. Then guard your mind like a warrior. Refuse the post-prayer spiral. Never live in contradiction to what you just did. You prayed. Now carry yourself like someone who prays. Align your next decisions with that identity. Calm morning, honest work, guarded eyes, guarded heart. The real strength is not in a dramatic ending. It is in a clean ending, protected from doubt. Finish with TASHAHHUD and SALAM. Stand up without running a courtroom in your head. Walk into your day as a person of FAJR, decided, steady, and ready to return tomorrow. After you give salam, the prayer does not end. It moves. It shifts from your tongue and limbs into your mind, your decisions, and your attitude. This is the moment most people lose what they just built. The next thought you allow can either protect your FAJR or puncture it. Do not walk out of a completed act of obedience and hand it over to suspicion. You finished the chain. Guard it. Here is the hidden sabotage that quietly breaks people. It probably didn't count. I rushed. I forgot a small part. I didn't feel anything. That string of thoughts is not humility. It is theft dressed as concern. It tells you to start over without cause or to quit until you can be perfect, which means you drift for weeks and call it caution. Answer it with authority. Faith declares, Allah accepted my effort as I learn. Doubt whispers, you failed, so stop trying. Choose your side, because that choice will decide your tomorrow. Do not let a whisper rewrite what you did in the clear. Build a simple, repeatable post-prayer routine that locks your gain in place. Do not run. Do not scroll. Sit exactly where you are for 30 seconds. Breathe slowly. Place your hand on your heart if it helps you focus. Say, Alhamdulillah. Then make a short, clean dua. Allahumma taqabbal minni. Allahumma igfirli. Guide me and let me return tomorrow. Add advanced gratitude. Gratitude in advance of tomorrow's obedience. Thank you, Allah, for helping me start. Help me return tomorrow. That's it. 30 seconds. No drama. This is not extra burden. It is your shield. You are sealing the envelope you just wrote with your body. When you stand, live in alignment with what you just asked for. If you asked for calm, do not manufacture chaos with frantic scrolling the moment you rise. If you sought forgiveness, do not turn your tongue into a blade 5 minutes later. Guard your eyes, guard your words, guard your pace. After you pray, your job is to carry yourself like someone who prays. Steady in your walk, honest in your work, soft in your tone. Never live in direct contradiction to what you just offered at dawn. That is how people cancel their own prayer in spirit. They ask for light and then choose darkness with their next decisions. Expect the aftershocks. Mid-morning, a thought may come. Did I even have WUDU? Was my QIBLA exact? Maybe I should count it as nothing. Answer it with the rule of stability. What is certain is not undone by a passing doubt. Declare it. I prayed within time, with WUDU, facing the QIBLA. I will not dig up the seed. Think of a traveler who checks a heavy suitcase, then drags it back from the belt to carry it again. That is what worry does after prayer. You checked it in, and then you volunteered to haul it. Refuse the volunteer shift. When doubt knocks, you answer once, and you do not reopen the case. Make the first 5 minutes after Fajr sacred ground. No phone, no self-indictment. 1 sip of water, 2 deep breaths. Alhamdulillah, a short dua. Then enter your morning as a person of Fajr, decided, unhurried, guarded. The fastest way to grow is to guard your mind right after prayer. Do not undo obedience with doubt. You are training a story, not chasing a moment. Seal what you started with gratitude today, and it will be easier to return with strength tomorrow. When confusion hits, your job is not to panic. It is to complete the prayer with calm and keep the chain unbroken. You are learning a sacred routine. Confusion is expected. Abandonment is optional. Do not give up what you are building, because your mind threw sand in the gears for 30 seconds. Here is your reset script. Breathe once. Plant your feet. Say inside, Allah knows I am learning. I will complete this prayer and improve gradually. That is not an excuse. That is authority. You are declaring posture. You are refusing to let a passing cloud cancel a clear assignment. Adopt 3 rules of stability when doubt shows up mid-prayer. 1. Move based on what you are most certain of. If you know you finished Al-FATIHA but you're unsure about the short surah, decide cleanly. Either add a brief recitation now or proceed to RUKU. Then stop litigating. 2. Never restart repeatedly because of whispers. You are not building purity, you are building panic. 3. If you are certain you skipped a required movement in the same RAKAH, return to that movement calmly and continue. If you are not certain, do not rewind. Certainty leads you. Doubt does not drive. Let me confront the perfectionism spiral. Repeating a RAKAH again and again to feel right can be doubt in religious clothing. Faith declares, I will complete this with order and correct myself as I grow. Doubt whispers, start over until you feel perfect or give up altogether. Answer it with authority. I will not turn worship into an anxiety treadmill. Finish the step you are in. Keep the pace human. Keep the mission intact. A few simple scenarios. You blank on what comes next after reciting, don't freeze, bow, your map is clear. Standing ends with RUKU. RUKU rises to standing. Standing goes to SUJOOD, 2 times with a brief sit. Then you stand for the next RAKAH, or sit to close. You lose count, build on the lower number you are sure of and continue. You stumble a word in Al-FATIHA. Gather it and finish. Do not shred the prayer. You suspect you missed a tasbih. Say it calmly now, then move on. The enemy of beginners is not ignorance, it is panic. If confusion swarms you before you begin, use a single-page checklist beside your place of prayer for the next 7 mornings. Print it. Big, simple lines. WUDU, QIBLA, intention. Al-FATIHA, short surah or praises. RUKU, rise, SUJOOD, sit, SUJOOD, stand, repeat, sit, TASHAHHUD SALAM. Glance once, begin. Do not worship the paper, use it as training wheels, then remove it when the pattern becomes automatic. That is not weakness, that is wisdom. If, after you give salam, a clear certainty surfaces, I absolutely skipped a pillar, do not spiral. Thank Allah for the awareness. If there is still time, repeat the prayer calmly. If not, complete it as soon as you can. 1 decision, no courtroom. Then return tomorrow with sharper focus. The rule stands. What is certain is addressed. What is doubtful is dismissed. Guard your mind like a warrior under pressure. Keep your eyes anchored, your pace unhurried, your decisions clean. You are not chasing a feeling. You are building a story. Obedience that survives confusion. Finish today with calm. Keep the chain unbroken. Return tomorrow stronger. Let me free you from a trap that snatches many good beginnings. Do not confuse categories. The fard of FAJR, those 2 rak'ahs within time, with WUDU and QIBLA, is your non-negotiable baseline. That is the assignment. The SUNNAH around it is beautiful, rewarded, beloved. But it is not the entry requirement for a beginner finding their feet. Never allow the beauty of extras to intimidate you out of the base command. Faith honors order. Doubt loves to scramble it. Doubt whispers, if you can't do it all, don't do any. Faith declares, I will secure what is due, and I will grow steadily. Hear a law that will protect your mornings. What you force, you will have to sustain. What you build with wisdom, Allah will sustain with grace. When you push yourself into a full advanced routine on day 1, long recitations, extended du'as, full sunnah, complex litanies, you might impress your fear for a day, then crash on day 3 and sustain nothing. That is spiritual manufacturing. You crafted something heavy with your own hands, and now you have to carry it alone. We are not here to manufacture a performance. We are here to cultivate a life. Plant what you can water tomorrow. Here is your staged plan. Week 1. Honor the fard, 2 rak'ahs, every dawn within its time, with WUDU, facing the QIBLA, and guard your mind for 5 minutes after. That is your entire mission. If you did only that for 7 mornings, you would already be rewriting your story. Don't add weight yet. Don't audition for anyone. Keep the chain unbroken. Week 2. Keep the fard exactly as above and add 1 small improvement. 1. Choose either a short surah you can recite confidently after Al-FATIHA, Al-Ikhlas is ideal, or slow your overall pace by 10% so you actually feel the RUKU and SUJOOD. Not both, not a dozen. 1 small upgrade, done daily. This is how capacity grows, clean reps, not frantic expansions. Week 3. If weeks 1 and 2 are stable, meaning 5 or more completed FAJRs each week without panic, begin adding the 2 SUNNAH of FAJR before the fard on most mornings. Keep them light, keep them calm, and keep the rule of priority etched on your heart. If time is tight and dawn is closing, secure the fard first. Never miss the obligation chasing the extra. The SUNNAH adorns the house. The fard is the foundation. This is not delaying obedience. This is building capacity so your obedience can last. Waiting here is not passivity. It is active trust that refuses to force what cannot be carried yet. Think seed, not microwave. Think training, not spectacle. The soul becomes strong by small, repeatable deeds that do not collapse under life's weather. Allah loves deeds that are consistent, even if small. That love meets you when you choose steady over showy, formation over frenzy. So answer the perfectionist whisper with authority. I will not burn out my dawns to impress my doubt. I will secure the fard. I will add 1 clean improvement. I will layer sunnah on stability. Today's obedience, protected from panic, becomes tomorrow's strength. Build up. Don't burn out. Listen closely. The promise from the very beginning was never perform perfectly once. It was obey simply today, then protect it, and return tomorrow. The real victory of FAJR is not a dramatic morning you can't sustain. It is the calm, bare minimum 2 RAK'AH done within time, with WUDU, facing the QIBLA, then guarded from doubt so consistency can grow into strength. That is the path that changes your day and rewrites your story. Not spectacle, sequence, not pressure, practice, not a flood of extras, an unbroken chain. Before, your dawn might have been owned by hesitation, analysis, and self-judgment. Snooze again, overthink again, promise again, delay again. That cycle breeds anxiety. After, by this simple map, your dawn becomes an anchor. You wake, you purify, you face the QIBLA, you stand, bow, and prostrate with a human pace. You sit and seal with salam, you guard your next thought. Your heart clears because your body finally obeys. Your mind steadies because your identity is tightening. I am a person who returns to Allah at dawn. Not sometimes, not when I feel holy. Every morning, as best I can, within time, without making a courtroom out of worship. Hear your final triad and carry it like a shield. Guard your mind, obey your next step, return tomorrow. Guard your mind, do not let suspicion harvest what obedience planted. Obey your next step, take the smallest right action in front of you without drama. Return tomorrow, win the long war by winning the next morning. Faith declares, I planted the seed and I will water it. Doubt whispers, dig it up to check. Refuse it. Faith declares, I checked the suitcase at the counter. Doubt whispers, drag it back to carry it again. Refuse it. Understand what is forming in you. Every completed FAJR stabilizes the rest of the day. Your eyes are cleaner, your speech is softer, your pace is less frantic. You start choosing alignment over impulse, order over chaos, surrender over control. What you do at dawn trains what you do at noon. And what you repeat for 7 mornings becomes a pattern, for 30 mornings, a rhythm, for a season, a new story. That is how quiet obedience matures into authority. If this message just sets something straight in you, seal it with a public decision. Write it where you'll see it and say it out loud. I will pray FAJR today. And in the comments, declare it as a witness. Allah has already heard my prayer. Share this with a beginner who feels overwhelmed by dawn so they stop auditioning and start obeying. And subscribe to keep growing, step by step, without panic, with wisdom and consistency. You are not behind, you are beginning. And beginnings, repeated, become breakthrough. Guard your mind. Obey your next step. Return tomorrow. FAJR is not won by one perfect morning. It is won by coming back at dawn with faith and obedience until the habit carries you and the light you started in becomes the light you walk in.